Oh dear, it's not a great time to be Emma Watson, is it? From child prodigy to indie sweetheart, from blockbuster royalty to loud-mouthed activist, now stranded somewhere between out of touch and publicly roasted. Once upon a time, she was the shining face of $1 billion franchise. Today, she's the punchline of half the internet. When Emma burst onto the screen in that famous Fantasia series about young wizards, the world instantly knew her name. Her acting took her right to the edge of A-list superstardom before it all crashed in one of the most baffling cases of self-inflicted damage this side of Hollywood. See, Emma built her image around being the voice of her generation, passionate, political, and perfectly aligned with whatever cause happened to trend that week. What she didn't realize was that culture moves fast. What's fashionable today can be career poison tomorrow. So buckle up, dear viewer, grab your popcorn and your metaphorical wands, because today we're diving into the spectacular crash and burn of Emma Watson. Emma Charlotte Duary. Watson, born in Paris in the early 90s to a pair of successful lawyers, grew up in comfort, private schools, multiple homes, tutors, clubs. She had it all. Acting was just another hobby that she could afford to take seriously. By the late 90s, a series of novels about a boy wizard had taken over the world, and casting began for the movie adaptation. The studio needed a clever, confident girl for the lead role, and after 8 grueling auditions, they picked Emma. Her first performances, well, let's just say you could definitely tell she was a theater kid. But to be fair, for a 10-year-old with 0 film experience, she was fine, maybe even charming. The franchise became a global juggernaut, locking its young cast into a decade of filming, premieres, and press tours. By the mid-2000s, burnout was setting in. When her contract came up for renewal, Emma seriously considered quitting. Then came that 7-figure paycheck, and, well, money talks. By 2011, the series wrapped up. For the first time since childhood, Emma was free, though she'd never lived a normal life and probably never would. That part's important, so keep it in mind. The next few years saw Emma reinvent herself. Gone were the school uniforms and wands. In came indie films, biopics, and art house dramas. My Week with Marilyn, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Bling Ring, none of them massive hits, but each one nudged her reputation higher. Critics praised her maturity, her confidence, her range. She became known as that rare child actor who made it through the industry minefield without a self-destructing. Then came the big budget leap. A biblical epic here, a thriller there. No matter the genre, reviewers agreed. Emma Watson could act. By her mid-20s, she was at her peak. Talented, articulate, photogenic, she became the it girl of Hollywood. Directors adored her, talk shows booked her constantly. And best of all, she said all the right things. When the big feminist movements began dominating headlines, Emma was right there at the front. Speeches, interviews, campaigns, even an honorary position at an international organization for women's rights. Because naturally, no one can speak for the struggles of the everyday working woman quite like a millionaire movie star who's never had a normal job. But I digress. Soon, her activism seeped into her films. In one live-action remake, she even had the script rewritten to make her character an inventor, because representation matters. Her worldview could be summed up as, I support the current thing. Climate? Check equality, check whatever hashtag was trending that week, double check. To the public, Emma seemed flawless, a thoughtful, educated artist with perfect opinions. But like a bubbling potion, with one wrong ingredient, trouble was brewing. See, the author who created that wizarding world that made Emma famous? Let's call her Joanne. She was also a proud progressive, except on one very controversial topic. When Joanne started voicing her views about it, things exploded. Activists called her a bigot. Fans demanded boycotts. And Emma? She found herself stuck between the woman who gave her a career and the mob demanding outrage. So what did she do? Stand by her longtime mentor? Stay neutral? Or throw her under the bus for internet clout? You can guess which one she picked. For years, Emma made sly remarks and subtle jabs at Joanne in interviews, happily riding the wave of moral superiority. But time, as always, changed everything. By the mid-2020s, public sentiment had shifted. The online tide turned. People began rethinking the narrative, and suddenly, the once vilified writer didn't look so bad anymore. And that's when Emma decided to change her tune. On a popular podcast, she suddenly declared that she loved Joanne and would always be open to talking. Really? From someone who had been publicly criticizing her for years? The internet wasn't buying it, and neither was Joanne. Within days, the writer responded with a blistering open letter, calling Emma a hypocrite, a fair-weather friend, and a privileged opportunist trying to repair her image now that it was politically convenient. And just like that, boom, career vaporized. What followed was one of the most spectacular public takedowns in recent memory. It wasn't just a clapback, it was a full-scale demolition. The internet devoured it. Emma went from brave voice for progress to poster child for performative Hollywood. The smugness, the virtue signaling, the privileged condescension, all of it came crashing down in one viral post. She wasn't fearless anymore. She wasn't inspiring. She was exposed. So, what now for Emma Watson? Her acting career ended years ago when she took a break to focus on activism. Coming back at 35 isn't impossible, but Hollywood rarely forgives wasted prime years. As for her activist image, also toast. Once you've been labeled inconsistent, no movement wants you. If there's one thing that the world hates more than disagreement, it's betrayal. And so here we are, a cautionary tale in designer heels. A woman who stood for everything and nothing at the same time. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. You can put your wands away now, and that's the full story. The rise, the fall, and the lessons from Emma Watson's journey. Her story isn't just entertainment. It's a reminder that influence, fame, and good intentions aren't enough without authenticity and credibility. Here's the truth. YouTube's algorithm doesn't show my videos to everyone automatically. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, subscribing is the single most important thing you can do to support this channel. When you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you're telling YouTube that this content matters, and that helps more people discover these stories. So like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. Could Emma Watson have avoided her downfall, or was it inevitable? Your engagement is what keeps this channel alive and growing. Remember, authenticity matters, both on screen and online, and your voice counts too.